Hello guys, welcome back to some World of Tanks. So, do you sometimes get fed up with having a team full of potatoes? Maybe you end up in a 3-yardy game in your favorite tier 10 super slow German super heavy on Malinovka. Maybe you get rolled by a platoon of super unicums in their 279Es or Donkerers. Maybe you tried to cheer up by maybe playing some low tier pub stomping, but you just got black pilled by how bad the low tiers are. So, there's only one thing to do. If you play on the American server, you can log on to the South American server, which has a very low population. I think there was like in total 2,000 people playing on that server at this time. And if you go into a tier 5 or lower tier tank, there's just not enough players to fill all the slots. So what does the matchmaker do? Well, it fills the team with bots. And that's what you see here. We have on my team, it's me and IKV 103 and an ELC AMX ELC, I mean, that are humans, and the rest are bots. See, here's a bot. Just gonna auto aim him. It's just a tier 4. My gun will just go through him no matter where I hit, pretty much. You know, with some exceptions like the AMX-40, as we see here, which has that trollish bouncy armor. On the enemy team we have a T-34, another AMX ELC, and an M10 tank destroyer. And the M10 is in front of me here. He's using the anonymizer. He could be a very good player, for all I know. One downside of playing on the South American server is it's the ping. I'm getting around 250. So just gotta finish off this AMX-40 here. Well, actually not, because he bounced that one. It's time to fight the human. Don't know where that shot went. However, I have a huge advantage in hit points over him, and my gun has a higher alpha damage. Somehow that still hit him. So doing like alpha trading like that was in my favor. And here's another bot. What are you gonna do, bot? Well, he's gonna die. And the AMX-40 is hiding behind here, behind the church. Not anymore. And here's a B1. That's my ping you see there. You know, I got 5 kills. Can I make this a top gun? I think I can. Well, actually, I know I did, because this is a replay, and I've already played this battle. So some manual aiming here, because he's starting to angle, actually just turning around, because he's a bot. So left on the enemy team is a T-34 and 2 M8 tank destroyers. Now the T-34 is, he's just a regular player. Probably just a South American who just plays on this server because it's his local. Grinding his way up through the Soviet medium tank 3. And this is what he ends up with. He ends up with getting pub stomped. Will I get the kill on T-34? Let's find out. If he had been more aggressive, he could have rolled up that that flank and killed all the bots, and then used his superior mobility and view range, or possibly superior view range, to take me out. He did hit me with his APCR, but he bounced. Now he went back to looking at bots. And the bot actually got him. Here we have the last M8A1 hiding behind the berm. The M8 is very lightly armored, so auto aim will do just fine. No need to stop here. There, that's the enemy team done with. That's 3,570 damage in a tier 5 game. As you saw from the beginning, there was only 5,000 hit points in total on the enemy team, so that's a big chunk of it. Gonna post the post-game stats here, and well, this is, I'm not gonna say this is like impressive, wow, I'm so good gameplay, because this was versus bots. And well, it's just a matter of being able to kill all the bots before your human teammates kill them. And just hope the humans on the enemy team don't kill all your bots. Or, you know, they could. I don't really care. So, I have one more battle to show you. Let's get on with it. Alright, so here I am in my Panzer V-4. This was one of my first tanks in World of Tanks after the game was out of beta. Because they offered up 3 packages for beta testers. One that was really cheap. You got a little bit of gold, and I think it was an A32, A20 Soviet tier 4 light tank. One that was a little bit more expensive, which is what I got. You got a little bit more gold, and I got this tier. Actually, I think it was tier 6 back then. I think it was a tier 6 medium tank back then, which is just the Panther with a Panzer IV turret. And it used to be just terrible. It used to have like 3 or 4 degrees of gun depression. So any little bump in the terrain would just make your gun just point to the sky. But they buffed it. They made it tier 5. At least I think it was tier 6 before, and they made it tier 5. And gave it 10 degrees of gun depression. So now it's a pretty good tank. Oh, and yeah, and the last pack was the more expensive one. You got the tier 8 M6E2 whatever, you know, the big M6 with a 105mm gun. You used to see those things just all over in tier 8 matchmaking back in the day. Like, it wasn't uncommon to have 10 of those on each team in a tier 8 game. and the rest would be people who had not yet made it to tier 8. At least the first days after release. Anyway, back to this battle. So I went to this flank hoping to just zoom down it and get around behind the bulk of the enemy team. But I ran into a bunch of bots here and 2 human players. Got an M4A1 on my right here. And I saw a Hetzer down there. He was also human. I'll take care of this bot here. This really is quite a lovely little tier 5 machine. It's got some decently solid hull armor because it's based on a Panther hull. And while the gun isn't like hugely powerful, it's got decent penetration. And see, I bounced that off my side. And it's also really good for ramming, as you will see many times in this battle. I was afraid the Hetzer was gonna be one of those guys playing it with the 105, firing heat, but he wasn't. He was just some poor guy making his way through the German tank destroyer line. Doesn't even have 1,000 battles played. No, kind of feels bad. Just stomping on low tier tanks like this. But remember, most of the tanks on each team here, they are bots, and I certainly don't feel bad for stomping on a bot. So in some ways, this is less detestable than regular seal clubbing. So you see the M4 here is doing what I was planning to do. He's now getting around behind my team. I do have one more human player on my team. He's in an M10 tank destroyer, and he's a decent player. He's pretty much doing what I'm doing. Will I get him? No, the M10 got him. He stole my kill. Plenty more bots to go though. See the ping acting up a bit there. It's the K-Ho. I should have rammed that guy. I don't know why I didn't. I'm getting hit in the side by a Valentine, but I've got plenty of hit points to go around. See here, this DW2. The Durchbruchswagen. I decide, I'm just gonna go around. And as long as you don't give him a flat angle to shoot at, even your side armor will bounce these low tier tanks. Go for the B1 first. Track him by ramming. He actually used the repair kit. So, there are now 2 tanks in this yard here, or what do you call it? Did some ramming to the DW2. Gonna try to angle both of these guys. You see I'm bouncing a lot of shots here. I do another ram. Ooh, left on 1 hit point. And the M8 behind me actually hit me with an HE shell and damaged my gun. Let's see if I can make this another 8 kill battle. Do I need to fire my gun to kill this guy? Well, no. Not when he tries to brake check me like that. Didn't end well for him. So that's 3,600 damage in a tier 5 game. And, oh yeah, that's a bunch of medals too. Like a Top Gun and Radley Walters. And if all I did was to play battles like this, I would probably have a WN8 of like 10,000 or something. But then, if all my WN8 is telling me is that, yes, I'm good at killing bots, then what's it really good for? You can ponder that, and that's the end of this episode. Either way, it's actually kind of fun to just let out some steam and stomp some bots now and then. Goodbye and take care.